Tennis claims the Horizon League regular season title.
And track and field continues to break records.
All this and more coming up right here on the Penguin Rundown. Welcome in everyone to the Penguin Rundown. I am your host Bryce Noel here this week, and with me here for the very first time is Donald Van Horn. And Donald, last episode of the semester heading into finals week, and it was very well done by the YSU Athletics.
Yeah, the sports this year has been phenomenal on campus. We had YSU football go 7-4. We had the YSU men's basketball team make the National Invitational Tournament. And track and field, they just continue to break records.
Absolutely, but there's one sport we like to get started with, and that will be men's tennis. As the YSU men's tennis team hosted Cleveland State this past Saturday, April 22nd, in their regular season finale. As a team, the Gwins would win in doubles and defeat Cleveland State in 4 singles matches to claim a 5-2 victory. Will Everett and David Alvarez Moreno won at number 2 with a 6-3 win, while Laurentiu Montecescu and Harry Falzis won 6-2. Individually, Clement Mengai won his singles match 2-1, coming back to win 2 straight after losing the first set. Nathan Favier would also win a 2-1 match alongside Falzis and Javier Gonzalez-Pla. The men ended the regular season with a 12-10 mark as they start the Horizon League Championships April 28th with a match against Tennessee State in Ann Arbor, Michigan. For results and more, go to ysusports.com. For the women's team, they would play host to Oakland on Sunday, April 23rd to wrap up Horizon League play. Like the men, the women would take home a 5-2 victory over the Golden Grizzlies. Despite missing out on the doubles point, the Penguins would utilize a strong singles performance to take home the match. Elisa Regazio completed a 2-set victory at number 1, while Julia Marco won at number 6. Also claiming 2-set victories for the Penguins were Mocha Ito and Cecilia Rosas. The women finished the regular season 9-8 overall, while being undefeated in Horizon League play at 6-0. They will start the Horizon League Championships April 29th and play this match with an opponent to be determined. For updates, go to ysusports.com.
The YSU women's lacrosse team punched its ticket to the MAC tournament with an impressive victory over the University of Detroit Mercy last Saturday at home. On Saturday, the Penguins took the win over the Titans 20-8, the second most goals scored in a single game this season. 3 different Penguins scored 4 goals: freshman Jay Shearer, junior Jordan Miller, and graduate student Ali Corinne, who also notched her 100th career goal on Saturday. 2 other Penguins recorded a hat trick in the high-scoring affair. YSU will wrap up its regular season this Saturday, traveling to Kent State to play the Golden Flashes. First draw is set for 1 p.m.
The men's and women's golf teams wrapped up the competition in the Horizon League Championships early this week. The women's team started off the conference championships with a 5th place finish through the first day of competition. The team finished with a total score of 317, and the Penguins' highest finisher was senior Pathita Khan Rudy, with a 3rd place finish at 3 over par. As for the men's team, they also finished tied for 5th through April 23rd with a total score of 304. The team's highest finisher was senior Brian Corduple with a score of 74 at 2 over par. Both the men's and women's golf teams will continue their Horizon League Championships through April 24th and 25th. To keep up to date with the golf teams, check out ysusports.com.
The Youngstown State men's and women's track team hit the road over a 3-day span from April 20th to the 22nd at 3 separate events. At the SRU John Papa Invitational, the Penguins claimed 10 event victories, with junior Lonnie Harper clearing a career best height of 2.05 meters. The new career best moves him into 7th place in school history. Also for the Penguins, Nate Lewis picked up his first win in his career at YSU to earn a top spot in the 400-meter dash. On the women's side, freshman Nina Gross picked up her first career win with a time of 11.93. Also picking up event wins, senior Olivia Jones in javelin and junior Logan Franchowski in the women's 200-meter. From April 21st to the 22nd, the men's track fielding team competed at Virginia Challenge, in which freshman Ryan Meadows became the first outdoor runner in school history to go below 14 minutes in the 5,000-meter event. At the Jesse Owens Classic, senior Zach Gem heaved the throw of 58.69 meters to extend his record in the discus at OSU. The track and field team will be back in action over a 3-day span from April 27th to the 29th at Walsh Tune-Up. Ashland alumni meets in Penn Relays.
The women's softball team was back in action this past Saturday, April 21st, to take on the Green Bay Phoenix. This contest would not fall in the favor of the Gwins as they would be shut out by Green Bay 8-0 in 5 innings. Junior Elisa Imler and sophomore Taylor Truron recorded the only 2 Penguin hits in the game. Green Bay would score 3 runs in the first, 4 in the fourth, and another in the fifth, which enforced the mercy rule. The softball team will be back in action at home against Cleveland State University in a doubleheader April 27th and a separate game on April 29th to round out the 3-game series. To watch the games, check out ESPN Plus and stay up to date with the team at ysusports.com.
The Youngstown State baseball team traveled to Oakland on April 20th to start their 3-game series. In Game 1 of the series, Oakland won by the score of 5-3 as the Penguins scored 3 runs in the first inning. The Golden Grizzlies rallied to win 5-3. In the 7th, Oakland scored 3 runs to go up 5-3. Starting pitcher freshman Braden Gebhardt had the longest start of his career, completing 6.1 innings and allowing 3 earned runs on 5 hits. In Game 2, the Penguins lost 5-4. The Grizzlies hit a 2-run single to make it 7-0 in the bottom of the first. Youngstown State pitcher struck out 11 Golden Grizzlies. In Game 3 to complete the series, the Penguins lost 14-9. Oakland scored 3 runs over 3 innings as the Golden Grizzlies led 6-3 after 2 innings and down 10-4 after the 7th. The Penguins scored 5 runs in the 8th, including a grand slam by senior Andre Good, but Oakland scored 4 in the bottom half to win. Youngstown State's leadoff hitter O'Shaughnessy recorded 3 hits while 7 other Penguins recorded hits. The Penguins play 4 games at Eastwood Field, which started with Akron on April 25th, and will start with a 3-game series against Milwaukee from April 28th to the 30th. With spring sports starting to wind down when we come back to Penguin Rundown, football will be in full gear. Let's send it over to Andrew Peterson and Dylan Lux live inside the studio with a 2022-23 football season preview.
Thanks, guys. We are going to be previewing the upcoming football season.
Yeah, Drew, and we missed out on the 32-team FCS bracket last season, but we're hoping to make a statement this year, even without our star running back.
Now, YSU's offense was hot as they averaged 30 points per game, and their defense was okay as they held opponents to only 25 points per game. We ended up going 7-4 overall, but went 5-3 in the conference games.
And you mentioned that 5-3 conference record. We went 5-1 here at YSU, so some strong showings in front of the home crowd. 2-3 on the road, but one of those games was in Kentucky against Will Levis, so can't really fault them for that. We had a balanced offense this past season as well, with 202 rush yards per game and 196 pass yards per game.
And then one thing YSU will be looking to do again this season is continue the resiliency, as last year they won 3 games trailing in the fourth quarter. They trailed Western Illinois before rallying for a 28-17 victory. The Gwins then trailed 17-13 at Illinois State before coming back to win that game 19-7. And they were even down to Southern Illinois 21-7, but came back 28-21.
You mentioned that high-powered offense, Drew. The Gwins only threw 3 interceptions the entire season, and our starting quarterback for the last 7 games, Mitch Davidson, only threw 1. And like I mentioned, those 7 games, this was the fewest in a single season in school history. And on the other side of the ball, YSU forced a turnover in the final 6 contests. Back on the offensive side, 6 different players caught touchdown passes for the Penguins, and 12 different players on the offensive side reeled in a pass. They were also dominant with a time of possession on average of 30 minutes and 56 seconds per game, and in the red zone in conference games, we were 24 of 27 on scoring drives.
Now, our offense had more than 400 total yards on offense. The team rushed for more than 178 yards in 7 games, so our running game was really the strength of our team last year.
Oh, we saw that with Jalil McLaughlin all year, Drew. YSU also had 6 200-plus yard passing efforts, though, for the year, as well as throwing a touchdown in 8 of the 11 contests. YSU also held 6 opponents to 103 or fewer yards rushing in a game throughout the year, and 4 times they held an opponent to under 150 passing yards in a game.
Now I want to go back and touch on McLaughlin a little bit, who is graduating, will be entering the NFL draft, but he was huge for our offense as he rushed for over 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, and he averaged over 100 yards per game. He led YSU with touchdowns with 15.
He was definitely the star of our backfield. But we wouldn't have been so successful this year without senior quarterback Mitch Davidson, as he threw for over 1,600 yards and 12 touchdowns last season, only 1 interception. He also completed 59% of his passes. He also started 7 games last season, the last 7 games of the season, and he also ran for 4 touchdowns, and we'll see one of those coming up soon.
Now YSU will start their season with the home opener on August 31st against Valparaiso University. Valparaiso went 5-7 last year.
And we'll also see the Trestle Bowl heading to Ohio State to play the Buckeyes on September 9th in the Horseshoe.
Now, Dylan, me and you will be attendance at that game, so it should be a great atmosphere. Now we are going to send it back and over to Caleb Ellison for greatest plays of the year. Caleb?
Thanks, guys. Caleb Ellison here, and it was a great year for YSU athletics, but we can only limit it by so much. And here are the top 5 plays from the YSU season. Getting it started with number 5, we have quarterback Mitch Davidson. Here against Indiana State, we have an option play. Is it McLaughlin? Is it Davidson? Davidson keeps it for himself, breaks the goal line with the touchdown, flexes the guns with the cannon in the background. Going on to number 4, we're hitting the court with women's basketball, Dina Gerals. Up here against Wright State, trying to get through the defense. A crossover move, finds a lane in the paint, and gets the layup. We're going to get a replay over here, just right, left, amazing athleticism to score the bucket, and even gets fouled, so she gets some shots at the line. Now we're going to move on to number 3, staying on the court. It's Brandon Rush from men's basketball. We have some action in the paint. The ball gets loose, but Rush is in the corner to pick it up and slam it down. Posterizes the defense and flexes on them, lets them know what it's all about. Going to number 2, we're hitting the field with outfielder Haley Niederkor of softball. Line drive to center, Niederkor dives out and makes the catch. We're going to get a nice replay of it there. No fumbling around, stays in the glove, secures the out for YSU. And number 1, who else but number 1? Adrian Nelson from men's basketball. Full court press, Cohill with the layup and tosses it down. Nice alley-oop there. Nelson slams it in there. Just an amazing season from Nelson, everyone on that men's basketball team. And it was an amazing season for YSU. We saw lots of great success from all of our teams. Congratulations to every athlete who was a part of it. Have a safe and wonderful summer season. We can't wait to see you back in action. Donald and Bryce, back to you guys.
Thanks, Caleb. And as it has been a wonderful semester here and our last episode on the Penguin Rundown, you can always follow us on our social media on Twitter and Instagram at Penguin Rundown 1. And for live stats, news, scores, and more, you can always check out ysusports.com. I've been Bryce Noel.
And I've been Donald Van Horn.
And as always, have a great summer, Penguin Nation.